Strategy and Innovation Track Continuum. We are discussing PMOs, and of course, it's not possible to continue to discuss PMOs without the founder of PMO Global Alliance, Americo Pinto. Hello, Americo. Nice to have you here.
Hello everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you today. Congratulations for this amazing event.
The stage is yours.
Oh, excellent. So let's talk about PMOs, right? So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself very quickly. I'm Americo. I'm the founder and chair of the PMO Global Alliance. I've been working on project management and PMO field for more than 20 years, almost 25 years as a consultant, a professor, researcher, author of some books. But in the last 4 years, I've decided to focus my work on leading a community of PMOs and PMO professionals, a worldwide community. So 4 years ago, I've decided to focus on the idea of founding, creating the PMO Global Alliance, and in some way building a legacy for the profession, for the global PMO community. So we work with our members, our volunteers, in order to generate some kind of benefits, value, and results that can be useful for everyone around the world. So for me, it's a great pleasure to participate in this event today because initiatives like that can bring a great value for everyone in the project management area, in the project management community. So today I will share with you some information and some ideas, right? Some information about our community, about how you can join us, how you can engage in some of our projects. But I will also share with you some ideas, some insights on PMOs, some experiences and trends that come from, I could say, the outstanding PMOs that are part of our community in many different countries. So I will share with you not only interesting information about how you can make a difference in the global PMO community, but also how you can use the experience of leaders that are part of our global community, how you can use their experience, how you can use their successful paths, to get better results. So let's start talking about very quickly talking about the PMO Global Alliance. It's not exactly a professional association like PMI, like IPMA. In fact, it's much more a community, a virtual community. So we have members in many different places, many different countries, and we work very closely with PMI, with IPMA, with many other associations and organizations in project management. In fact, I've been a member of PMI since 1998, right? So, for a long time. I was a baby at that time, right? But I was just starting my career, in fact. But that's something that I believe that makes a great difference, and I recommend that everyone can join PMI chapters and participate because it's a great opportunity of learning, networking, and develop yourself and your career. So PMO Global Alliance, let me show you a very quick video so it's easier than I just speak, right? What we do. I think it will be nice. And actually, I love this video because it's quite new and I want to show it, for everyone right now. So look. Yeah, I'm proud of this video. It was created by one of our volunteers. So thank you very much, Michael. And you saw that we have many initiatives. All of them are led by our members. One of them, maybe the most well-known project that we have is the PMO Global Awards. The PMO Global Awards is the largest awards for PMOs and PMO professionals in the world. So every year we have a new edition, and we have companies from many different countries participating in this initiative, including Bulgaria and many other companies from East Europe. So it's a very exciting initiative. I really love it, and we've just closed the 2021 edition. So let me show you very quickly what we have from the last years, right? It started 4 years ago. Our ceremony was 3 weeks ago. Now you will know who the winner is.
Representing South Africa in the 2021 PMO Global Awards, the winner of the Africa PMO of the Year Award, City of Cape Town. Representing El Salvador in the 2021 PMO Global Awards, the winner of the America's PMO of the Year Award, One Link. Representing Ukraine in the 2021 PMO Global Awards, the winner of the Europe PMO of the Year Award, Raiffeisen Bank. Representing the United Arab Emirates in the 2021 PMO Global Awards, the winner of the Asia Pacific PMO of the Year Award, Dubai Municipality. And the winner of the 2021 World PMO of the Year Award is Dubai Municipality.
So it means that the Emirates, got the prize for the second year in a row, and I invite companies from Bulgaria and from the East Europe to participate in the next edition in 2022. But from now on, let's talk a little more about some technical stuff. And actually, what I'm going to tell you now came from our last edition of the PMO Global Awards. And why? Because we had many PMOs that stood out, in many different ways, and we had a lot of judges, almost 500 judges from more than 100 countries, and they evaluated all these PMOs. And those PMOs that stood out in this edition, we saw that they have something in common, and that's what I'm going to tell you now. What these companies, what these PMOs have in common. First of all, when we talk about PMOs, we see that many people talk about value, right? So value is something that everyone is looking for. They want to generate value. They want to have their value recognized by the organization, by the executive level. And it's not something easy, right? especially because when we talk about value, what come to our mind is money. But there is I could say there is a distance between what your PMO can do and what you can bring in terms of money, new money to the company. So when I say, for example, oh, I'm going to invest $1,000 in a new methodology, and it will bring like 10% more in terms of revenue in my business. It's not like that, right? Unfortunately. So this we don't have a direct correlation or a direct link between these two things. So how can we justify the existence of a PMO? How can we justify that a PMO is something relevant, is something important for the future of our organization? So what I'm going to show you now is exactly what we see on those companies that that are being recognized in terms of the results that their PMOs are generating over the last years. So the first point is, when we talk about PMOs, it's very common that people try to find magic pills, right? Magic pills are solutions that you just take from the shelf, right? And they look very attractive, usually, and people believe that they are good for them because it's easier to just try a magic pill, a magic solution, than creating something that really makes sense for us, for our organization. Let me give you an example. If you take some of the last books that have been published about PMOs, the last 10 books, for example, you will see that each one will provide you a different point of view about solutions for PMOs. Some of them will defend the idea that you should implement a strategic PMO. The other book will tell you that the PMO of the future is the VMO, the Value Management Office. Some of them will tell you that the Agile Management Office is the future. And maybe one more option will be the Benefit Management Office. So there are many, many beautiful and very cool names, right, that are proposed by different authors. And usually what many people do is choose one, take one, and say, hey, this is the solution for my company. And they just try to follow exactly what is proposed by these different authors. When they do that, that's exactly what I'm calling magic pill. And why? Because they are trying to take one of the models that someone is proposing, and I'm not saying that it's a bad model or it doesn't work. No, no, no. I'm just saying that these models, they are interesting, but not to be followed like a magic pill, but actually to be understood and inspire us when we are creating our solutions. And why? Why? Those companies that I could say that they have outstanding PMOs, actually, they are not looking for magic pills. And why? Because magic pills is like this blue cube, right? Actually, when you say, okay, I'm going to follow this model or that model, I will implement a VMO or a SMO, usually there is a list of things that you have to do. And it's not unusual that this list of things can't deliver the value of your organization and of your executives really need. And why? Because we are trying to take a solution and find a customer with those specific needs. And we should do the opposite. We should understand the needs, the pains, and create a solution. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, maybe our PMO can be a little VMO, or can be a little strategic, or maybe a little agile. Okay, no problem. But a mix of these solutions, these good solutions that are proposed by great professionals, this mix of solutions, it will give you the solution, the model of PMO that will be good for you. So what I'm saying is, instead of following pre-established models that looks interesting, cool, and easier to be implemented, actually what we have to do, that's what I could say that we see in the successful PMOs around the world, is they are much more concerned on understand the possibilities and create something that makes sense to them. And when they work like that, their stakeholders, the executives, everyone that in some way will be served by the PMO, they will feel satisfied, right? And why? Because you are not just trying to do what everyone is doing, or you are not trying to do the easy solution. You understand that what will drive your PMO is not the technical solution you have. In fact, it will be expectations. So what I'm saying is, PMOs are different from company to company, and they must be different. And why? Because the needs, the expectations will be different. They are different, of course. So the way that you will meet these expectations will be different, of course. Imagine that the PMO is like a doctor, a physician, and you have many good medicines that you can prescribe to your patient. The patient is the PMO customer, executives, for example. So you could go to your customer, to your patient, and say, hey, I have here a list of great medicines, they are really good, very technological, they are excellent. So take this list and take all these medicines because they are good. No, come on. Actually, the first step is understanding the pains, understanding the problems. And based on this understanding, I will prescribe the best medicines. How is it related with a PMO? When you have a pre-established model, it's like if you are saying, okay, my PMO should provide these functions. For example, we have to support the portfolio management, we have to provide project planning support, we have to provide methodology, tools. There are many functions that a PMO can provide. These functions are like the medicines that you can prescribe. Of course, different medicines, different functions can generate different benefits, different results. And your patient will need different results because each one has a different kind of pain. So what I'm saying is, if you have a pre-established list of things that a PMO should do, and why? Because a VMO is supposed to do this kind of things, or a strategic management office is supposed to do this kind of things, you are ignoring the real needs of your patients, the real needs of your customers. So what I'm saying is, what we see in the most successful PMOs is an inversion, right, in terms of how you configure your PMO. In fact, instead of starting from the point where you have a ideal type or ideal model of PMO, the most trendy model that should be implemented at this moment as a magic pill, in fact, we will start trying to understand the real pains. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you will know which medicine should be prescribed, which functions should be implemented. And why? Because those functions will deliver different results. And these results should be aligned with the real pains, the real needs of your stakeholders. That's why we have many PMOs around the world that they are doing a great technical job. So if you look in the microscope, you will see that technically speaking, they are delivering a great job in terms of, I don't know, project planning or portfolio management support, many different possibilities. And sometimes they are not recognized by the organization. So people don't see the value. Have you ever seen that? Like, oh, we are doing a great job and nobody see the beautiful, nobody see the beauty of what we are doing. We are not recognized. I can't understand why. The answer is because you are doing very well something that should not be done. So the point is, why are you doing that? What would you like to deliver in terms of results and benefits? What pains do you want to heal, right? And that's the starting point for any well-succeeded PMO. We have to understand the pains. We have to create PMOs and adjust our PMOs because we need to deliver solutions that make sense, solutions that can fit the real needs. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, of course, but nothing is easy, right? Actually, it's very important because this way we can start collecting this, this needs and understanding these pains, and we will create PMOs that can deliver exactly what is expected from us. So look, I'm saying that value is something that everyone discuss all the time, how we can show the PMO value, but it looks like the answer is not money, but the answer is something a little more subjective, something that is a little more related with an idea of perception of value. Perception of value is like when you go to your executive and ask, hey, do you believe that our PMO is valuable for you? And he or she will answer, yes, I think it is. And if you ask him or her, but why? Maybe she or he will say, I don't know to explain details, but I feel that it's something valuable. This feeling is what makes PMOs survive and thrive. Because again, sometimes you can feel that technically speaking, you are absolutely great. But if you can't generate perception of value, if you can't heal the real pains, if you can't deliver the benefits that they really expect, your value, your PMO value will not be recognized, never. You are doing a very good job in technical terms, but you can deliver results. And that's what makes the difference. It looks like the secret sauce, right? For those PMOs that are getting the best results. So think about that. And it means that instead of using pre-established models or instead of just copying, another PMO that you see, in another company, for example, and then you see, oh, they are very well succeed. I will try the same thing in my company. Remember that we can't copy and paste. And why? Because PMOs are different. The needs are different. The patients are different. So the executives in your company will expect something different from the executives in my company. It's obvious. So how can you imagine that just one model of PMO would be good for everyone? We say all the time, one size doesn't fit all, but sometimes people forget it and they just look for magical solutions in terms of PMOs that would be the next step. So the next step is the value management office, or the next step is the tantric management office. I don't know. You can choose which one you prefer, because new names, new cool titles will come in the next years. But don't be afraid of them, and keep in your mind that what you have to do is you have to be inspired by them. You have to take what they have in terms of good ideas, good insights, and you have to create your own solution. It's different from project management where you have best practices, everyone has a consensus about what should be a great scheduling or a great budget, but when we talk about PMOs, it's not like that. PMOs are different. They should be different, even for you. Because, for example, the PMO that you are leading this year perhaps will be not the same PMO that you should be leading next year. And why? Because the needs will change, right? The expectations will change. Let's suppose that you have new executives. Let's suppose that you have a new strategy. Could you imagine that the PMO that your company need 2 years ago before the pandemic is exactly the same PMO that they need today? Or they will need in 6 months or in 1 year? Of course not. So if you were successful in the past, it doesn't mean that the same PMO will be successful in the future. So the most important point that all these well-succeeded PMOs have in common looks to be flexibility, open-minded, and they are open-minded and they have a very strong flexibility. Flexibility to believe much more in their customers' needs than in the technical stuff. Because technique is great, but it's just the way to make you get there, make you deliver results, make you deliver benefits. So this custom service point of view is something that will help you a lot to make your PMO thrive. Think about that, because what we see in the most successful PMOs in terms of technical aspects, we see that they have many different things, all of them are very concerned about agility, benefit management, portfolio management. They are thinking about how AI can help them in the future, So the technical stuff, we don't have a lot of different, thoughts about that. But all of them believe that they exist to serve. And if you exist to serve as a service provider, the most important thing in your life is your customer. If you don't understand the customer and just try to push your blue cube, with your hammer, right? You are trying to push your blue cube that is a model of PMO that you truly believe, perhaps you are not being recognized as you could be because you are not delivering what they expect. So to close this technical discussion, let me tell you something. Many books and many articles and many people usually say that one of the most common causes, one of the most common justification for PMO failure is a lack of sponsorship. So you don't have sponsorship, and because of that, your PMO failed, right? It was shut down, for example. Okay, at a first glance, it looks to make sense. But think with me after our discussion here today. If you are expecting some executive sponsorship to your PMO, when you don't have it or when you lose it during your journey, it's not the cause of your failure. No. It's much more the consequence, perhaps the evidence of your failure. Because look, in the beginning, you sold the PMO, and they said, wow, it looks really nice, we need it. Okay, we believe on you. Let's start with the PMO. And after some months or some years, you will start to lose sponsorship. And why? Because they don't believe anymore. They can't see the benefits that they expected. I don't know exactly why, but what really matters is you are not delivering the benefits that they expect. So how can you dare to have sponsorship in this situation. So losing sponsorship is not the cause of your failure. It's the consequence. It's the evidence that you are failing. So every time that you see that the resistance is, is growing fast, that your executives, they don't really care about what you are doing, and you have this strong feeling that you are doing a great job, a great technical job, and nobody, really care about what you are doing, or they can't see the value of what you are doing. Think twice, analyze what you are doing, because maybe you are doing a great technical job, but you are not prescribing the medicines that your patients really need. So they will never see value on what you are doing. That's a very interesting point, right? And let me see. Yeah, we are close to the end. Actually, all these concepts that I'm telling you at this moment, they have been studied by our community also in the last 6 years, in the last 7 years, since our foundation actually, and we had a group of 122 experienced PMO leaders from many different countries, and they worked with me in this piece of research. And a few years ago, we released a very interesting methodology named PMO Value Ring. So I invite you to know more about this methodology, because it's a kind of step-by-step that you can use to set up a PMO from scratch, or to evaluate, to assess your PMO, and to understand if it's really aligned with the real needs of your organization, the real needs of your stakeholders, of your executives. So maybe you are very mature, you are doing a great technical job, but a lack of alignment will prevent you to generate real value for your stakeholders. So I invite you to know more about this methodology, something that we are proud of, because it was created by our members and volunteers. By the way, we are now working on some new ideas connected to this methodology. And one of the things that we have also is a certification process on this methodology. So actually, you can become a certified practitioner, the PMO CP, or you can become a certified consultant. And the certified consultant is something new in our community, and I would like to invite you to know more and maybe help us as a volunteer, because the PMO CC certification is a way that we found to support those people that want to become consultants, or they are consultants. They are great technical people, they really know about PMOs or about project management. But for those that are experienced consultants, they know that being a consultant is much more than the technical stuff. So there is a great opportunity for partnership here, because we are trying to support our credential holders, not only with knowledge, but support them in terms of generating business opportunities, job opportunities. So it's a very strong connection between PMO Global Alliance community and the credential holders. It's something new, actually. It's a new approach. It's something that we believe as the future of professional certifications, because just tell that you know about something, some knowledge base, it's not enough anymore. We need more. We need more commitment. And PMO Global Alliance, was created for that. We are here to connect people around the world, to create opportunities for everyone. So this new certification is quite interesting. I'd love to have your feedback. So at the website, you can find more information. And finally, before opening for questions, right? So you can share your experiences and insights about my last words. I'd like to show you something that is the heart of our community, right? Our members, our volunteers. So in the PMO Global Awards, for example, I told you that we have a judging committee with almost 500 experienced professionals, and we have many other professionals that also work with us, almost 1,000 volunteers. And I would like to finish my presentation presenting them to you. It's a, actually, it's a kind tribute to them, because everything that I presented to you is made by these people. And by the way, we have many, many volunteers from Bulgaria and from East Europe, like in Ukraine, Russia, Lithuania, what else? Let me see, Latvia. We have many, many people from many different countries in East Europe, and I'm very proud of that, right? Of course. So let me show you this very, very kind tribute to our volunteering before opening for questions. Perhaps someone that is connected now will find your photo here, right? Do you know this guy? Yeah, that's it, right? This oops. Okay, these guys are great, and we are proud to count on all of them and many more people to develop all these initiatives at our community. So my last words about that are if you want to join our community, there is no cost. You will be very welcome to our projects. There are many, many opportunities of learning, networking, meet people everywhere, and everyone will be very welcome. And I hope that you can work with us and in a very close way with PMI and PMI chapters. We are always open to help and to support everyone in this great project management worldwide community. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Americo, for your presentation. Great job for you and for your alliance. It's visible by the number of volunteers that you have. And also, thank you on behalf of Bulgaria chapter and our audience about the great insights that you provide to us regarding the PMO today. The Q&A session is open, so dear attendees, if you like, you can leave your questions to Americo into the chat, and I'll be here to read it for you. While we are waiting for the questions, I would like to ask you something. I heard from you that stakeholders' expectation lead PMO creation. And my question is how to manage stakeholder expectation regarding the PMO, because sometimes stakeholders are requesting a lot of things that is not possible to be achieved, and which wishes of the stakeholders can be very dangerous in order to create one valuable PMO.
Great question. Look, first of all, we have to keep in our mind that we have to speak the language of our stakeholders. What I'm saying is, if you go to your director and ask him, for example, would you like to have a methodology, or would you like to have a PPM software, or maybe do you want some training on project management? In fact, he or she doesn't care about that. And why? Because it looks like if the doctor go to the patient and say, hey, would you like some of these medicines? You can choose which one you want. I don't care. What I want is something that can heal me. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is the language of the stakeholders is not based on PMO functions, on technical stuff. What they really want is results. So, for example, what your director wants is information, more reliable information when they are making a decision. What they want is some people available with competences in project management when he or she needs to assign someone to a new project. What they want is a better integration between projects and strategy so they can see clearly how they are connected. Look, all of these things are results, are benefits, are the pains, So what your PMO will do in terms of functions or activities, they are the medicines. They are the response to deliver those benefits. So that's the first part of my answer. You have to speak the language of your stakeholders. And the second part is, okay, let's suppose that they want something, right? And you decide, because you are the expert, and you will say, okay, that's your pain. So the best way to heal you is doing this. This is the medicine. For example, if you tell me, oh, Americo, what I need is a better integration between projects and strategy. As your doctor, I will say, okay, we can provide to you some support on portfolio management or portfolio design. And I need someone experienced, and I need, this specific software. I need to create this process, and that's how I will provide you this function. And you, as my executive, says, no, but I don't want to spend money with that. We can't hire a new person with experience on that. We can't buy this software. We can't do that. But I have this problem. I have this pain. Ah, very good. So now it's very clear that they have a pain. and technically speaking, you can't deliver what they expect. So you have two things to do at this moment. The first one is to be very transparent and showing that, hey, if you need that, I can do it for you, but we need this. And the second thing is, okay, it's not possible. All right, so I can deliver that. Oh, but you need to deliver. I will be waiting for that. So we have a problem. We have a risk. We have a risk for our PMO. So everything I'm telling you happens every day with every PMO. But there is a group of PMO leaders that they just feel like if I don't know, it will not hurt me, so I don't have the control of the risks that my PMO has. And actually, your executives are still waiting for things that you can't deliver, and you are just doing nothing about that, right? And that's what happened all the time. So when you organize, this process, trying to understand needs and create solutions and being very transparent about what you are doing and why you are doing that, it creates a kind of agreement between you and your customer. So the chances of creating frustration will be lower, right? So that's the spirit of this idea.
Okay, is it possible to mix a POC in a way that they will make a disaster?
Sure, of course. Actually, we can do anything that we can. I didn't tell you in the beginning for our audience, but I'm from Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro. And here in Brazil, we have a very popular saying, when people say, if it's not illegal, immoral, and will not get you fat, you can do it. And that's exactly the idea for a PMO, right? So you will find many books or articles saying, oh, this is the job description of a PMO. Okay, maybe it's the most common way of delivering a PMO. But if you need something different, there is no problem with that, right? You have to adapt. Maybe it's not usual, it's something not very frequent in many companies, but if it's not illegal, immoral, and it will not get you fat, you should do it, because that's the way to make your customers, stakeholders see the value of what you are doing, delivering their expectations, right? So you can mix many different solutions and create your own model.
I like that concept. Thank you very much for your answers and for your presentation, your contribution to PMI. Thank you on behalf of PMI Bulgaria chapter. Thank you to your volunteers, and keep in touch for next PMI Bulgaria chapter initiatives.
Thank you very much. I wish success to all of you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.